On that cold day, when everyone passed by, Kate Middleton chose to stop and help. But at that moment, she had no idea that this small act of kindness would thrust her into the heart of secret military operations, dangerous secrets, and a deadly conspiracy. The sharp cold of December turned London streets into ice as Kate Middleton was returning from a charity visit with her security team. It was 3 p.m. and gray clouds covered the sky. Near the busy Westminster Bridge, something unexpected happened. The head of the security team, David Harrison, called out to Kate. "Your Majesty, traffic is a bit heavy. We can use an alternative route." Kate nodded slightly while watching outside through the window. "No problem, David. I'm not in a hurry." Just then, a movement at the side of the road caught her attention. An elderly man was trying to walk while stumbling, then collapsed to the ground. People around him were quickly passing by, no one stopping, no one helping. Kate's heart raced. "David, stop." "Your Majesty? Stop the vehicles. That man needs help." David looked at Kate with a worried expression. "Your Majesty, this isn't safe. We can call an ambulance." But Kate had already made her decision. "No, we're stopping now." When the cars stopped, Kate got out despite her security team's objections. As the cold air hit her face, she quickly approached the man who had collapsed. The man was about 60 years old. His pale face, trembling hands, and worn clothes clearly showed he was going through hard times. As Kate knelt beside him, she saw he was breathing weakly. "Sir, can you hear me?" Kate's voice was both concerned and warm. The man slowly opened his eyes. When he saw Kate, surprise and confusion appeared on his face. I'm fine," he whispered. "No, you're not fine. You need help." Kate called to David. "Call an ambulance immediately." Meanwhile, a curious crowd began to gather. Cell phones came out. People were taking photos. But Kate was focused only on the man in front of her. As the man struggled to breathe, he grabbed Kate's hand. "Please," he whispered. "There's a note in my pocket. If something happens to me—" Kate anxiously checked the man's pocket. A small crumpled paper came out. When she opened the paper, she saw a few words written in shaky handwriting. "If I die, please find my daughter Emily. She's 8 years old, Carlton Street 15, alone. Protect her. We're in danger. Robert Hayes." Kate's breath caught. This wasn't just a note asking for help. A father was trying to protect his daughter with his last breath. As ambulance sirens approached, Robert slowly closed his eyes. "Emily," he whispered his last words. After the ambulance took Robert Hayes away, Kate was left standing there with the note in her hand. As David tried to get her into the car, Kate's mind was confused. "Your Majesty, let's return to the palace. This incident is sad, but it would be more appropriate for us to leave," he said. Kate cut him off with a stern voice. "We're going to Carlton Street 15. "What? But Your Majesty—" "There's an 8-year-old girl alone, and her father was just taken to the hospital. We're going immediately." David tried to object, but remained silent in the face of Kate's determination. Carlton Street was one of London's poorer neighborhoods. Old buildings, narrow streets, and an atmosphere of hopelessness. Building number 15 was no different from the others. 3 stories, peeling paint, signs of life behind curtains in the windows. Kate entered the building with David and a security officer. The stairs creaked, and there was a smell of dampness in the corridors. On the second floor, a faint light was seeping from one of the doors. Kate knocked on the door. Small footsteps came from inside. "Who is it?" A childish voice, fearful. "I'm Kate. I come from your father, Robert." The door slowly opened. A little girl looked at Kate with big blue eyes. Her hair was messy, wearing an oversized sweatshirt. This must be Emily. With a trembling voice, she asked, "Where's my daddy?" Kate knelt down to Emily's eye level. "Emily, I'm Kate. Your father is in the hospital right now. He's being well taken care of." Emily's eyes filled with tears. He told me he wouldn't come back, but I was scared. Kate felt her heart breaking. You don't need to be scared anymore. Will you come with me? Emily hesitated. My daddy doesn't want me to talk to strangers. There are dangerous people. These words echoed in Kate's ears. Dangerous people? What did this mean? She began to think. Emily, I won't harm you. I made a promise to your father. I must protect you. The little girl looked into Kate's eyes. There was something about Kate, something trustworthy, sincere. Okay, she finally said. While Emily was packing a few of her belongings, Kate looked around the apartment. The walls were cracked, the furniture was old, but it was clean. On the kitchen table were a few bills and empty cans. But then Kate's eye caught a frame in the corner of the wall. Robert Hayes in military uniform. He looked young, proud, and strong, incomparably different from his current state. Emily, Kate asked gently, was your father a soldier? Emily nodded. Before, but he doesn't like to talk anymore. He has bad dreams. Questions multiplied in Kate's mind. Former soldier, dangerous people, fear. This wasn't just a story of poverty. Kate took Emily directly to Kensington Palace. This decision hadn't been easy at all. The security team was worried. Her private secretary, Margaret Watson, was panicking. Your Majesty, this isn't protocol. This girl's identity, her background, she complained. Margaret, Kate said with a stern expression, this child is in danger. We'll provide a safe place for her. Emily seemed mesmerized by the grandeur of the palace. Gold leaf, crystal chandeliers, magnificent paintings. It was like a dream. Kate placed Emily in one of her private suites. You're safe here, Emily. No one can harm you. Emily held Kate's hand. When will my daddy come? Kate didn't know how to tell her. The news from the hospital wasn't good. Robert Hayes had suffered a serious heart attack and was in intensive care. It will take some time, Emily, but he's a strong man. When he returns, he'll find you here. That night, Kate fed Emily dinner, read her stories, and helped her sleep. But the questions in her mind wouldn't stop. Late at night, Kate sat in her private office researching Robert Hayes, internet searches, military records, and what she found shocked her. Robert Hayes had served in a special military operation 15 years ago. The operation was secret, in Africa. Officially, it never happened. But then the traces disappeared. Military records were unclear, retirement stories were inconsistent. Kate decided to investigate more deeply. Using her old military connections, she tried to learn Robert Hayes' real story. The next day, Kate asked for help from an old friend. General Richard Blackwood was an old friend of Kate's father, Michael Middleton, and was experienced in military intelligence matters. Richard, what can you find about Robert Hayes? Kate asked. General Blackwood found Kate's request strange, but didn't question it. A few hours later, the information he found was shocking. Kate, you must be very careful about this man. He served in a secret operation in 2008, an operation called Shadow Protection. It's not in official records. What do you mean? This operation involved arms sales to African dictators, but Robert Hayes discovered corruption in the operation, a major bribery scandal involving high-ranking officers and politicians. Kate's breath caught. What happened then? Hayes submitted his report to his superiors, but that report never made it to the records. Hayes was discharged from the Army with a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress. His trail has been lost since then. So who was involved in this operation? That's where things get complicated, Kate. The names are very big, ministry level, even higher levels. Kate asked General Blackwood for more details. What she learned deeply shook her. This wasn't just a corruption scandal. This was a massive conspiracy involving illegal arms sales worth millions of pounds, extending to the highest levels of the British government, and Robert Hayes was the only living witness to this conspiracy. As soon as Kate digested this information, she became even more worried about Emily's safety. If Robert Hayes really was a witness to such a big scandal, both he and his daughter were in great danger. That evening, while having dinner with Emily, Kate tried to answer the little girl's innocent questions. "Aunt Kate, when will my daddy come?" "Soon, Emily. We must be patient." "My daddy always said bad men are after us. Is that true?" Kate's heart raced. "Why did he say that?" she replied to the little girl. "I don't know, but sometimes the phone would ring at night and Daddy would get very angry. He would say, 'They won't find you.'" These words worried Kate even more. It was clear that Robert Hayes wasn't paranoid, he was really being followed. When the hours passed midnight, it was David's voice that woke Kate. "Your Majesty, there's an emergency." Kate immediately jumped up. "What happened?" "Robert Hayes died in the hospital, cardiac arrest." Kate's world collapsed, but what David said next was even more frightening. "And Your Majesty, the hospital records are very strange. Doctors think the heart attack might not have been natural." Kate looked at David in horror. "So you're talking about murder?" "It's possible, and if so, Emily is in great danger." Kate immediately ran to Emily's room. The little girl was sleeping peacefully, but Kate was now much more worried about her safety. The next morning, Kate had to tell Emily that her father had died. This was one of the hardest moments of her life. While Emily cried in Kate's arms, Kate promised her, "I'll protect you, Emily. I promised your father." But Kate knew she wouldn't just protect her. If Robert Hayes' death wasn't natural, she needed to uncover the truth. Calling General Blackwood again, she asked where Robert Hayes' old files might be. The general answered with the experience of years. "Kate, if Hayes was smart, he would have hidden evidence somewhere. Soldiers who survive such situations usually take security precautions." "Where could it be?" Kate asked. "I don't know, but his daughter might know something." Kate began asking Emily gentle questions. The little girl didn't remember at first, but then she said something. "There was always a very important box for Daddy. He would hide it in a secret place." "Where, Emily?" Kate said excitedly. "In our old house, a secret place behind the wall." Kate immediately decided to go to the old apartment on Carlton Street, but this time she had to be much more careful. At midnight, Kate went to Carlton Street with a minimal security team. The apartment seemed abandoned, but Kate was being careful. In the place Emily described, she found a hidden compartment behind the kitchen cabinet. Inside was a metal box. When she opened the box, Kate's breath caught. Inside were hundreds of documents, photographs, audio recordings, and USB drives. The documents contained all the details of the shadow protection operation, bribery amounts, arms shipments, bank accounts, and the most shocking part, the names of British officials involved in this operation. From ministry level, well-known names in Parliament, even names from higher levels. These files could cause a scandal that would shake British politics. But Kate understood that these documents not only cost Robert Hayes his life, but now threatened Emily's life too. When she listened to one of the audio recordings, she heard Robert Hayes' voice. "These files are my life insurance. If something happens to me, the truth must come out. For my daughter Emily's safety, the world must know about this corruption." Kate understood that Robert Hayes didn't just witness, but struggled for years to reveal the truth. As Kate left the palace with the files, she noticed they were being followed. Black cars were following them at a distance. David had noticed. "Your Majesty, we're being followed," he said. "Who could it be?" "I don't know, but they look professional." Kate had to take urgent measures for Emily's safety. She placed her in the most secure part of the palace and had extra security measures implemented. But the real problem was what to do with these files. If she shared this information with the press, she would not only cause a major scandal, but also risk her own safety. That night, Kate continued examining the files, every page, Every document revealed the magnitude of the scandal. Millions of pounds, dozens of arms shipments, hundreds of victims. And worst of all, this operation was still continuing. Robert Hayes's death was done not just to silence him, but to continue the operation. The next morning, Kate made a very important decision. She would leak these files to the press. But while doing this, she also needed to ensure Emily's safety. She contacted Sarah Mitchell, a reliable journalist. Sarah was experienced in investigative journalism and wasn't afraid to expose such major scandals. "Sarah, I'm going to give you a very important story. But this isn't just news. I'm doing this for a child's life." Kate handed over all the files to Sarah. Audio recordings, documents, photographs, all evidence of the shadow protection operation. "Kate, this is a massive scandal. These files will shake the government." "Then that's what we need to do. Robert Hayes is dead, but his daughter Emily is alive. These files are his legacy to her." Sarah promised Kate, "I'll announce this story to the world, but you and Emily must be safe." A few days later, Sarah Mitchell's news shook the entire world. The news titled "Shadow Protection: The British Government's Secret Arms Scandal" was first published online, then spread to all media. The documents were very clear. Names, amounts, dates, undeniable evidence. The government went into crisis, ministers resigned, extraordinary sessions were held in Parliament, investigations were launched, but most importantly, Emily was now safe. The dangerous people gave up targeting Emily after the scandal was exposed, because the truth was now out there. Kate told Emily that her father was a hero. "Your father was a very brave man, Emily. He stood against what was wrong, and now you can be proud of him too." After the scandal ended, Kate found a permanent solution for Emily. She decided to adopt the little girl. This decision also received great support within the royal family. Prince William said he was proud of Kate's courage. King Charles also announced that they accepted Emily as family. Emily now lived permanently at Kensington Palace. She was getting a good education, was secure, and most importantly, was full of love. Kate gave Emily that military frame she had taken from her father's room. "This is your father's memory. He was a very brave man, and you will be brave like him too." Emily hugged Kate and thanked her. "Mama Kate, Daddy sent you, didn't he?" Kate's eyes filled with tears. "Yes, Emily. And he will always be with you." This story showed that Kate Middleton is not just a member of the royal family, but also a brave and compassionate person. What started as a small act of kindness revealed a great injustice. Robert Hayes's memory lives on in his daughter Emily. But more importantly, thanks to his courage, hundreds of innocent people were protected. A major corruption scandal was exposed. Kate Middleton made history with the choice she made on that cold December day. At that moment, when everyone passed by, she chose to stop and help. And this choice saved not just one life, but hundreds of lives. Sometimes the biggest changes start with the smallest acts of kindness. Kate Middleton's story proves this. Share your thoughts in the comments and tell us the feelings this story gave you. Don't forget to subscribe, because many more touching stories await you. See you in the next video.